At 2:13 a.m., the evidence warehouse went dark, then oddly calm. Cameras kept recording, but the hallway showed only empty air and steady shadows. No faces, no bodies, not even a flicker of a flashlight in frame. Yet the vault door opened, and the sealed archive case vanished like a bad magic trick. By sunrise, officers found no footprints, no fibers, no forced locks, nothing to hold. Then someone killed the lights, and the concrete floor began to glow in thin smears. The stains crawled forward in slow arcs, as if a ghost dragged wet neon paint. They pulsed brighter where the air felt damp, then dimmed, then brightened again. A trail from nowhere, leading somewhere, promising the thief was still close enough to breathe. Maya stood perfectly still, watching the glowing trail breathe across cold concrete. She was not police, not exactly, but they called her anyway tonight. She studied light that should not exist and explained impossible things calmly. Alex waited beside her, arms crossed, eyes tired from too many failures. He trusted facts, not miracles. And light without fire offended his instincts deeply. But Maya had solved worse problems, and time was already running out fast. Tomorrow morning, a judge would release a man named Victor without hesitation. Victor had been arrested after a long investigation filled with careful, fragile evidence. One critical item connected Victor directly to a violent warehouse bombing downtown. That item now sat inside the stolen archive case, currently missing without explanation. Without it, the prosecution had nothing strong enough to hold Victor legally, and Victor knew exactly how to disappear once freedom returned to him. Alex had chased Victor for months through lies, shell companies, and empty addresses. Every witness forgot details. Every camera failed. Every lid dissolved into silence. Victor never rushed, never panicked, and never left anything behind accidentally. Except this time, something glowed where nothing should glow at all. Alex turned toward Maya, hoping science could succeed where instinct had failed. Maya stepped forward slowly, crouching beside the faint, breathing streak carefully. She did not touch it immediately, choosing patience over curiosity and expensive mistakes. Her eyes adjusted, tracking the pattern like reading an unfamiliar living language. Light formed uneven pulses, brighter near cracks where moisture hid quietly. She spoke softly, more to herself than to anyone listening nearby. This was not electrical, not chemical burn, and definitely not random contamination. This was deliberate, controlled, and designed to appear only under specific conditions. Alex leaned closer, feeling both hope and dread rising together inside him. He needed answers, and he needed them before sunrise destroyed their last chance. If Maya understood this light, they could follow the thief who created it. If they failed, Victor would walk free, smiling, and never face consequences again. Maya finally looked up at Alex, her expression calm but intensely focused now. She said quietly that light always tells truth if someone knows how to listen. Maya opened her case and removed a small sealed glass vial carefully. Inside rested clear liquid, looking harmless, like ordinary water under weak light. Alex frowned, expecting something brighter, more dramatic, more obviously scientific tonight. Maya noticed his expression and allowed herself a brief, tired smile. She said the most dangerous tools rarely look dangerous at first glance. Then she turned off her small flashlight, letting darkness fill the storage room. For a moment, nothing happened, and Alex felt foolish for hoping. Then Maya dipped a thin swab into the clear liquid slowly. She touched the swab gently against the cold concrete near them. At first, nothing changed, and silence stretched longer than comfort allowed. Then a faint blue glow appeared, weak but unmistakably alive and growing. Alex leaned closer, eyes wide, watching light appear without heat or flame. The glow pulsed slowly, like breathing, matching the strange trail nearby perfectly. Maya explained this was bioluminescence, light created by chemical reactions in darkness. No electricity, no batteries, only molecules rearranging themselves and releasing visible energy. She said nature invented this trick long before humans built their first fires. Deep ocean creatures use it to hunt, hide, or communicate silently underwater. Fireflies use it to find partners, signaling identity through precise light patterns. But scientists learned to copy and control this natural glowing process artificially. They combined special molecules that react slowly when exposed to moisture and oxygen. The reaction releases photons, tiny packets of light, without producing meaningful heat. Maya explained the key was timing and environmental activation, not constant glowing. The liquid stayed invisible until humidity reached a specific threshold later. This allowed delayed activation, hours after someone applied the invisible marker carefully. Alex realized someone marked surfaces that appeared completely clean during inspection. Only later, when conditions changed, the hidden trail revealed movement and direction. The thief planned visibility carefully, controlling when the light would betray paths. Maya said the glow could last minutes, hours, or longer depending formulation choices. Different chemical ratios controlled brightness, duration, and sensitivity to environmental triggers precisely. Someone with proper training could design trails appearing exactly when needed most. Alex understood this was not random contamination or accidental scientific residue tonight. This was intentional, precise, and created by someone who understood biochemical tools deeply, someone who knew evidence procedures, humidity cycles, and darkness inside secured archives. Maya looked again at the glowing trail stretching into deeper storage corridors. She said this light was not decoration, but communication between thief and environment. It showed where movement happened, and possibly where movement would happen next. Alex felt urgency sharpen inside him, replacing doubt with dangerous, fragile hope. Light without fire now offered their only chance to stop Victor escaping justice. And someone close enough had already used science like a silent guiding compass. The glowing trail curved gently, leading deeper into restricted archive corridors ahead. Maya and Alex followed carefully, avoiding accidental contact with fragile luminous evidence. The light pulsed brighter where air felt heavier and slightly damp nearby. It moved with intention, not random splashes or careless accidental contamination patterns. Someone placed it while moving calmly, without panic, without hesitation or interruption. The trail ended suddenly at a reinforced steel door marked cold storage. Alex stopped immediately, instincts warning him this felt too convenient tonight. Thieves rarely left helpful arrows pointing toward their escape routes willingly. Maya studied the handle carefully, noticing faint glow concentrated around edges. This door had been touched recently and deliberately marked with precision earlier. Alex whispered this could be a trap designed to mislead investigators completely. Following it blindly could waste their remaining time before Victor's release tomorrow. Maya agreed, explaining bioluminescent markers could create false narrative trails easily. A skilled user could guide observers toward incorrect conclusions intentionally and effectively. Light revealed truth, but also allowed carefully designed lies to appear believable. Alex hesitated, weighing risk against desperate need for immediate progress tonight. Time was bleeding away faster than they could safely verify each step. Maya suggested checking surrounding surfaces before committing to opening that suspicious door. She scanned nearby walls, floors, and storage racks with controlled darkness again. Faint smears appeared on metal shelving, lower, near waist height exactly, not from hands touching walls, but from something brushing unintentionally during movement. Alex followed her gaze downward, noticing locker vents glowing faintly beneath eye level. Inside rested security gloves issued to night shift archive guards earlier. One pair glowed unmistakably, fingertips carrying same bioluminescent chemical signature tonight. Alex froze, disbelief spreading faster than anger through his exhausted body. Security gloves meant someone inside trusted staff carried the glowing marker unknowingly, or worse, knowingly, helping someone steal evidence under everyone's careful supervision. Maya said markers could transfer easily through casual physical contact moments earlier. One contaminated surface could spread invisible light across unsuspecting secondary carriers quickly. Someone touched gloves, then guards touched doors, shelves, and equipment afterward. This broke something fragile inside Alex, something called professional certainty and trust. He knew these guards personally, shared coffee, complaints, and late-night jokes together. Now science suggested one of them connected directly to stolen critical evidence. Alex wanted denial, but glowing fingertips refused comforting lies tonight completely. Maya warned him emotional decisions could destroy their last remaining opportunity here. They needed facts, not loyalty, not fear, not assumptions based on friendship. Alex forced himself calm, focusing again on objective physical information present. He asked who had access to specialized biochemical markers like this. Maya answered quietly that such compounds required controlled laboratory supply chains, not available in stores, not improvised easily, not accessible without authorization anywhere. Only trained suppliers, lab technicians, or scientific consultants could obtain these materials. Alex immediately thought about someone connected closely to archive maintenance procedures. There was one expert responsible for preserving sensitive biological evidence properly inside. Someone who inspected storage conditions, humidity levels, and contamination risks regularly. Someone trusted completely because their job required absolute technical expertise daily. Maya saw recognition appear across Alex's face without words spoken aloud. He said the archive contracted an external lab specialist named Daniel recently. Daniel handled environmental calibration, evidence preservation, and biochemical contamination prevention procedures. Daniel knew humidity cycles, darkness timing, and staff movement patterns perfectly well. He could design markers activating precisely when conditions aligned favorably later. He could move freely, unnoticed, because his presence never raised suspicion before. Maya said this level of precision matched someone deeply familiar with laboratory biochemistry. Not an amateur, not desperate criminal improvising beyond their technical understanding. Someone confident science would guide them safely through controlled invisible pathways. Alex checked his watch, calculating hours remaining before Victor's scheduled release hearing. Not enough time for warrants, interrogations, or traditional slow investigative procedures anymore. They needed strategy, forcing Daniel to reveal himself through predictable scientific behavior. Maya suggested turning his own glowing pathway system against him cleverly tonight. Bioluminescent markers required darkness and humidity to activate and remain visible properly. If Daniel returned, he would rely on darkness protecting his invisible movements again. So they would remove darkness selectively, forcing him into controlled observation zones. But sudden brightness might scare him away permanently before revealing his involvement. Instead, they needed deeper darkness, deeper concealment, deeper invisible observation positions. They would create darkness so complete Daniel would feel completely safe returning. Then they would watch silently, waiting for light to betray him naturally. Science created the crime, and science would expose the criminal tonight decisively. Alex ordered building lights reduced gradually, avoiding obvious suspicious environmental changes. Maya prepared additional invisible markers, creating controlled zones around critical archive sections. If Daniel entered, he would unknowingly illuminate himself through transferred glowing contamination. They hid inside unused storage, breathing quietly, waiting inside artificial absolute darkness. Time stretched painfully, measured only by slow breathing and distant building sounds. Every small noise carried enormous meaning inside their carefully prepared scientific trap. Minutes passed without movement, without sound, without confirmation their plan would succeed tonight. Alex felt doubt creeping slowly. Whispering this darkness might protect nobody at all. Maya remained still, trusting chemistry more than human patience or fear responses. Then faint light appeared, but somewhere unexpected, somewhere logically inconsistent completely. It emerged not near the archive vault, but beside a security control panel. A thin, glowing line stretched along the wall toward emergency corridor access. Alex frowned, confused, because earlier trails never pointed toward control systems. This path avoided valuable evidence rooms entirely, ignoring obvious theft targets nearby. Maya leaned closer, studying brightness patterns and spacing between glowing segments carefully. She noticed uniform spacing, too precise for random contact during hurried escape. Each glowing section appeared intentionally placed at consistent, reachable human height. Not accidental brushing, but deliberate marking designed for visibility and recognition. Alex whispered, "This must be Daniel returning to retrieve something unfinished earlier." Maya shook her head slowly, eyes narrowing as realization formed clearly. She said this trail was never meant for investigators to follow originally. It was designed for someone else entirely, someone working inside building security. The markers activated after guards began their routine patrol routes each night. Guards unknowingly carried transferred glow, spreading markers along predictable movement patterns. This created visible confirmation. Their patrol followed, expected controlled directions precisely. But the original trail itself guided guards away from critical archive locations, like invisible rails steering trains, but made from delayed chemical light. Daniel never needed to avoid guards. if he controlled where guards walked. He used light as behavioral programming, not escape evidence left behind accidentally. He redirected patrol patterns subtly, ensuring empty corridors when needed most urgently. Guards believed they followed standard routes, never suspecting invisible manipulation occurring. The glowing trails appeared after patrols, creating illusion of normal guard presence. But real purpose was steering guards away from sensitive storage areas quietly. Alex felt anger rise, realizing trust itself had been weaponized against them. Daniel turned biology into silent instructions, controlling human behavior through chemistry alone. He never ran, never hid, never needed traditional criminal escape methods. He simply rewrote guard movement patterns using invisible biochemical signals carefully. Maya explained this exploited natural human instinct to follow visible confirmation cues. Guards trusted familiar paths, reinforced by faint, visible environmental consistency signals. Daniel provided those signals artificially, ensuring predictable, controlled security blind spots. The glowing trail was not evidence of escape, but evidence of control. Daniel choreographed human movement like directing actors across invisible stage lines. Alex understood now why cameras showed nothing unusual during theft earlier. Security followed manipulated routes, leaving archive corridors completely unobserved temporarily. Daniel walked normally through darkness, protected by predictable redirected patrol absence. Maya whispered this changed everything about how they must catch him tonight. Daniel would return expecting same controlled environment, still protecting his safety. But now they understood his system and could predict his confidence precisely. Light did not reveal where he went, but where he believed safe. And belief, once understood, became the most powerful trap imaginable. Maya adjusted her final marker carefully near the environmental control cabinet silently. This location managed humidity cycles throughout the archive during night hours automatically. Daniel would come here first to maintain his invisible biochemical control system. Alex positioned himself behind heavy storage crates, slowing his breathing deliberately. He trusted Maya's science now, more than cameras, locks, or human promises. Darkness returned fully, thick and absolute, hiding everything except potential glowing truth. Time passed slowly, each second stretching thin under unbearable silent tension tonight. Then, a faint glow appeared near the environmental control cabinet. Exactly. A human shape formed gradually, outlined by transferred bioluminescent contamination clearly. Daniel stepped forward calmly, unaware he carried glowing evidence across his hands. His gloves shimmered faintly, betraying every careful movement he believed invisible. He moved confidently, expecting obedient darkness and predictable controlled surroundings tonight. Maya watched him reach toward the cabinet adjustment panel carefully. He carried a small sealed case tucked securely under his arm. The missing archive evidence rested inside, silent but finally visible again. Alex stepped forward suddenly, voice steady, breaking Daniel's illusion completely. Daniel froze instantly, shock replacing calm precision across his glowing outline. He looked down, finally seeing the light exposing him without mercy. His science had turned against him, revealing every hidden, careful step. He tried denying everything, but glowing gloves destroyed his credibility instantly. Light transferred from cabinet, from case, from every contaminated surface earlier. Maya explained calmly how bioluminescent chemistry exposed invisible manipulation patterns precisely. Humidity activated markers exactly when Daniel trusted environmental conditions most completely. His own expertise created the trap now holding him securely tonight. Daniel realized escape was impossible without abandoning stolen critical evidence permanently. He lowered the case slowly, defeated by predictable scientific consequences. Finally, Alex secured the evidence carefully, feeling months of frustration release quietly. Victor would not walk free tomorrow, not after tonight's silent biochemical confession. Science restored truth without violence, without chase, without desperate physical confrontation. Daniel's confidence collapsed under quiet weight of his own scientific design. Police lights returned gradually, illuminating archive rooms with ordinary boring brightness. Bioluminescent glow faded slowly, its job completed successfully and permanently tonight. Evidence returned, insider exposed, and invisible manipulation finally understood completely. Maya packed her tools quietly, satisfied science had spoken clearly enough. Alex thanked her, knowing truth sometimes required stranger tools than instinct. Light without fire had protected justice when nothing else could succeed.